Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video we're having a look at the thumbs of the physical body. More specifically in this video focusing on the left thumb and what certain cuts and bruises and even broken nails would communicate with you in your relationship with yourself and your mind as translated and communicated to you through your body, more specifically the thumb. To understand this, I'm going to share with you my recent story and experience I've personally walked where I nicked my thumb with a knife pretty deep here, just slightly above the knuckle. You can still ever so slightly see the little scar over there. It's still in its final stages of healing, and it's been quite an extraordinary experience to walk because I have several times, when working with food, when trying to cut things open, and essentially not being completely present and aware and slowing down, focused and attentive on what I'm doing, I, in a split second, can shift into my mind and shift from reality. And that's where the moment of the cut happens. That's the most frequent cause for me as to my relationship and process with little nicks that happens on my hands. And it's also very specific as to what state or condition or experience I was in that moment when the cut happened. I find that's always specific. It's almost like a part of you deep within yourself goes, they're busy with something, and at the same time they're participating in a pattern that needs some attention. So I'm going to use this moment right here to bring some awareness. And then the nick happens or the deep cut happens, and it kind of shocks you back into reality. Obviously, with us not understanding how those deep parts of ourselves, deeper within and beyond our unconscious and also within our physical bodies, is communicating with us. We think, we just cut ourselves randomly within a certain area of the physical body, and now we must just start the process of healing it. But we don't realize that there's also a process of self-healing within and behind it that has to happen. Alright, so here with me, what specifically happened was I was trying to cut something open with a knife, and it's like, at that time I was thinking about all the other times that I got something open in the exact same way. So I was more doing it within a principle of habit, and so slightly going into that state of, I don't really need to focus on it that much or give it attention. I can just start cutting while I'm thinking and looking at other things, and then I'll get it open. But obviously reality didn't work out that way that time. And as I was cutting open, I wasn't really concentrating on what I was doing. I was looking while I was doing it, but it's like I wasn't present. I wasn't there. And so while I was cutting, it's almost like as though I was stepping out and back of my mind and out of reality, and I was busy in this little space up here, more so than in reality. It's like the automated things that we do that we take for granted. And that's where the deep nick happened, and the bleeding didn't stop for a while because of how deep it was. It was extraordinarily painful. And it's like already, because I've worked with my mind-self-body relationship for many years, I immediately asked myself, oh dear, what is my body me trying to communicate with me here? And because I know the thumb represents self, so especially with cuts and bruises and with nails breaking, here I first and foremost generally look with the thumb representing self. Like, okay, what part of my relationship with myself in my inner reality, because here I cut it on the left side thumb, the left side representing my inner reality relationship with myself, And that has primarily got to do with your secret mind. What I mean by the secret mind is the secret issues, problems, experiences that arise within you that very few or almost no one really knows about. You know, it's the personal, deeply personal stuff that's always been with you that you just naturally deal with by yourself because you've always been alone with it. And it's like, okay, what has been shaking me inside? And I realized, okay, for some time, these couple of weeks actually, I've been working with a slight background, if you will, noise or resonance of a stress, a panic and an anxiety, but it always feels like it's in my body and it's shaking and resonating and vibrating like this. And it's, how I would describe it, it's like the experience of feeling like something can go wrong at any moment, at any time. And a restlessness, that's a nice word that describes it, a constant restlessness. But there's no reason or cause for it. And I've already traced it back to my mother, interestingly enough. She was always in a rush, like a go-getter, and would panic very easily. Her emotions would flare up. Not in an excessive way, but you could see it on her face. I can still so clearly remember my mom's face when she would be rushed, and you know, her eyes would be big, like enlarged. Her whole body would be tense and tight. Her mouth would go straight and also tense. She would just be tense. Her voice would go low, and she'd speak very fast and move very fast. So that would be like the embodiment of this energy that's within me. And I haven't like completely acted it out like my mom did, but how it does come out, you know, because obviously when you're in an emotional state, like a restlessness for a very long time, that restlessness starts building into an energy, and then it can explode. For me, how it comes out is more through irritation, frustration. I get there's this panic state that almost comes in me when things move too slow. That just presses my buttons. You know, when someone then just does something too slow and they're taking their time, or they're not understanding me, not getting me, like something is taking too long, that emotion just comes up. I can't stand it, and then I take it out on something or someone. So that's my pattern with this restlessness. And I know I've been working with it in the last couple of weeks, but with this point happening on my thumb, and especially where it happened. Now I look at, okay, where it happened was just above the knuckle. And if we have a look at movement in the body, the flow of the body, and I will continue with this in the next video, how the body flows and moves with information within it, in your mind, your being, and your body. What are the channels or the currents of flow that exist in the physical? Just like in the ocean has its predictable current, you have the physical body with its predictable currents in the mind-self-body relationship. And so there's a current or a flow, a channel that moves from your heart through into your arms, toward your fingers and up, and then circles back, right? So with that cut happening right there, just above my knuckle, I think you can so slightly see that little scar there, right there, just above my knuckle, it's showing that I'm like at the precipice of changing this point within me, but it's just not, turning over. That wheel is like just about to change. It's like you imagine a wheel is turning and turning, and it's just about to turn to move, but it's just not going, and it keeps on, kind of falling back. It's just making it. So my thumb was basically communicating to me, hey, you are at that point of change, but every time you get there, you just not bring it through into fulfillment. There's a point where you're falling when it comes to this restlessness within you. So that I'll continue with in the next video as to what I identified that to be. and thank you very much for listening.